Hello, my name is Joe Bauer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to go back over the past 4 months and kind of get caught up more on what I've done really since the first of the year. It was back in January when I first started watching Bill Bengston's interviews and lectures quite a lot. And at the time, I didn't have the intention of learning this cycling method really, but as I went along, I just automatically started piecing together what it seemed like he was doing. And so I made a list of 20 things. He says to make a list of 20 things that you want. And then to imagine a situation where you really have it, where you know, in the detail you can feel like you really have the, you know, whatever it is, and along with what it feels like to have it. And that really caught my attention, because if you follow the lessons and the videos about manifestation, you know that imagining something and what it feels like, you know, even before you have it or even before you know how to get it, you know that is manifesting 101. That is the first thing that you do when there's something that you want. And so it caught my attention to hear someone like Bill Bengston, who's a very meticulous scientist. It caught my attention to have him using those same first steps. So anyway, I made up this list, and then I made up a description of each one and imagining being in the situation and all that. And then I made up a still image for each one, just like a picture still image. And then I began cycling that, or all of those, which was more than 20. You have to have at least 20. And so I went through the cycling process until I got them up to about like 1 frame per second, which doesn't sound fast, but it's actually a lot of work. And then at that point, then I took them all, and I really made up one still image that really embodies the essence of all of them. And then I put those on the spin cycle and got those up faster and faster. And then about 3 weeks ago, I decided that there's something about it that I need to improve. Maybe something's missing out of it. I'm not sure. And I decided that I want to go back to the very beginning and iron out anything that might have gotten left out, or anything that that maybe I didn't do well enough or didn't understand. And so then I made the video that I posted last time. And then after that, then I began watching Dr. Bengston's interviews and lectures again. And this time I understood a whole lot more, you know, with all the work I put into that. And then I got out my list, and I looked over my list, and I knew that there were some things on my list that were not clear enough, because each desire has to be one that when you imagine the situation, that you can really tell by the details of the situation whether you have it or not. And there were a handful of mine that were not really that distinct. So I took 2 of them off of the list completely, and then I cleaned up the other ones. Then I made a new list, and then I made up new descriptions for them, and then I added something else, and it's just an idea that I thought of. I don't know what's in his training material, but I came up with something that I'm calling a takeoff list. Okay, and this takeoff list is a list of these desires all over again. But here it's got like the final criteria that you have before taking something off of the list. Okay, so then I can look at it and I can say, okay, the final checkpoints have been made, so it's time to mark it off the list, you know. And I could tell that this was a good idea as I made out the list, because it gave me that just a more well-rounded feeling about it. And It gave me a better perspective from the end. You know, it gave me a good point where I can see the finalization of each one of them. Okay, so then in the upcoming videos, then I'm going to cover what Neville Goddard called the seed. And the seed is really just a well conceived of desire. And then planting that seed is like, you know, metaphorical to, well, that is the metaphor, but it involves, you know, planting that desire into your unconscious mind so that your unconscious mind can accept it and begin to grow it. Okay, so if having one desire, you know, is like forming a seed and planting a seed, then the Bengston list would be like planting the whole garden. It takes a whole lot of work, actually. So anyway, but I think those first two steps are maybe overlooked in their importance. It's really quite a fascination of mine. You know, forming that desire and then bringing it into your unconscious mind. There's a lot to that, and I really want to take it all apart until it's well understood, until I can describe it just really well. So that's what I'll be working on, and that's it. I want to thank you all for watching this video, and y'all take care. See you next time, and may you see clearly in 2020. Thank you.